Hi everyone, Coach Sullivan here again with MGS Coaching Football. Today, I want to talk to you about one of our split coverages. But before I do, I want to thank my subscribers and those who haven't yet. I really hope you do. And my 38th year coaching football concluded this past 2020, and I was lucky enough to be a defensive coordinator. But during that 38-year span, I've also been an offensive coordinator, special teams coordinator. I've coached every position on defense and offense. I've been a longtime head coach, and all of this at both the collegiate and high school levels. So what I'm going to do first is just adjust this light. There we go. It's not quite as glaring in my eyes. I want to talk to you, as I said, about one of our split coverages that we call Army out of our 3-4, and I'm going to show it to you versus 2-2. Okay, so one back situation and a 3-1. The simple adjustment we make out of both our base front package and our rotate tag front package. Okay, so the two different looks that we give you, and it's very simple for us to do. Okay, so again, our key terms are going to help you in terms of understanding how all this works. I'm sorry about the lighting here. There we go. Hopefully that makes it a little bit better. Okay. So the key terms to understanding how we do it. Liz and Rip is the pass strength call that we use. Okay. And how and why we use it, L and R. Okay. Pass strength is the 2 wide receiver side versus 2-2, as you'll see, 3 receiver side versus 3-1. That's just an automatic. That's how we do it. Okay. Opposite means it's the 1 receiver side in both 2-2 and 3-1. So whether it's a tight end or an actual wide receiver is irrelevant. There's only 1 receiver. Okay. But in 2-2, we determine it by a wide receiver, because if it's a tight end, then it's got to be a 3-1 if it's a 1 back. Okay, hopefully that makes sense. What we call the dividing line, the football, I'll go through all these things with you up here in the first diagram. What we mean by a hold call, okay, in this, for us, our rule is simple. Man stays man. Okay, so because Army is a split field, as you'll see, excuse me, on the 3 receiver side, it's going to be a man, so it's going to stay man, so we just make a hold call. Okay, so I'll bring that in for you. Invert and turbo, okay, depending on the formation, that's our 1 receiver side of a 3-1. In versus Texas, this will be invert. We teach our players this. Topeka, it's turbo. I'm going to bring that in for you today. It's not any new teaching. It's part of our base coverage system, as you'll see, okay? And then what we call cash. When we're in rotate, okay, versus Texas, it's a combo between our corner and safety as far as how they bracket number 1 vertical. We have an underneath combo. We have a vertical combo, bracket combo. So we call it a bracket when it's inside out, okay? That's different than high-low, just so we're clear, okay? So it's a bracket combo versus 1 vertical, and we'll bring that in over here for you as well, okay? So without further ado, here we go. So I'm going to utilize black when I add to the diagrams because defense is in blue and green, okay? So up here, it's our base, and starting up here on the right, it's rotate, rotate, rotate. All of it is our base 3-4 front. Okay, we teach everything out of that first, and yes, you can do this out of multiple fronts. Okay, but for this presentation, it's only out of our base 3-4 front. Okay, so how this works, we're going to start with the dividing line. Split coverage, okay? If you're on the pass strength side, so see Rip, right? Liz, Rip, Rip, Liz, Rip. So if you're on the side of the Rip, okay, so this side of the football, we're in what we call cover black, which is one of our man coverages. If it's black, cover black for the whole defense, it's man under 2 deep. But because it's only on one side, it's man under with deep help over the top. Okay? Opposite, right? One wide receiver side. So this is what I mean. One wide receiver away from the 2 wide receivers in 2x2. It's gray 4, which is our base match quarters coverage. Gray 4, right? 1, 2, 3, 4 defenders are reading and reacting to number 2. The other aspect of this, I really do not intend to get into all of the technical details and rules related to the specific coverage. You'll have to go to my other playlists for that. Okay, so if those people who have not, subscribed yet, that's one way I can hopefully get you to subscribe. It's free to subscribe, so woohoo, right? So, okay, cover black to the lizard rip, gray 4 opposite. Okay, so now we're over here. So I'm sorry. The only thing I will share with you is underneath defenders, right? Inside, outside linebackers in the corner. That's how we designate their underneath. Only a safety is considered to be the top of the coverage. Okay, so the safety is the only zone defender on the side of the lizard rip in this case, which is cover black. So running back, number 2, number 1. Okay? Sorry about that. Now over here, when I go like that, our players know they're in the rotate tag mode, which applies to all formations, all personnel groups. So versus 11 Dallas here, which is double 2x2, instead of being detached, the outside linebacker is right outside of the defensive end in striking distance, just right outside of him. Okay? It's still cover black over here, which means on pass, he still has to race out and take number 2, but he's still reading first because this is still orbit, so he's surface to 2. So surface says pass. He does bail out of there, and he's got number 2. He's got help over the top. He knows that. So in rotate now, 1x8 Ike on the snap, he's pedaling and reading the surface, and if it's run, he'll stop pedaling. If it's pass, he'll continue to pedal till he gets a 12, and now he's a deep half defender. Okay? Still gray 4 opposite. So some of the things that we can do, I can add a press tag, which applies only to the corner. And we always do it unless it's part of the game plan, both corners. So one thing we could do is I could say this week the game plan, and our players get game plans, right? They get them hard copy, and it's all part of the huddle playbook. Okay, separate game plans for each opponent. I could say this week when press tag is in our Army, which means only on the side of the lizard rip, so the man defender, cover black, or it's the usual, I press, it's both corners. So all that would mean is if there was a press tag, and we'll say that it was only on the side of the cover black, whether it was rotate or base, I'm just not going to take the time to do it on both. When the receiver looked in, the cornerback would walk up and inside leverage and play man from there. Okay, otherwise, if I didn't have a press tag, when the receiver looked in, he'd stem inside leverage and play off man from there. Okay, so since it's orbit, the outside linebacker reads surface, but the corner focuses on his man, to answer that question. Okay, and then if I gave a bail tag, same scenario. Usually it always applies to both corners unless I specify, so same deal. If I said the bail tag this week is only to the corner on the pass strength, right? So the man in our Army. So he would start there, and prior to the snap, he would bail back to play off man. So that's all. Okay, so we do have a press and a bail tag option. Otherwise, again, they're playing off man technique. Okay, so that's just the basic foundation of If I call Army, so I just salute like that, the kids know it's cover black to the lizard rip, it's gray 4 opposite. Okay? We're good? So now let's take a look at how we handle this versus 3x1. So Texas is 2 wide receivers to the side of the tight end with a wide receiver, which we designate 1X anyway, opposite. Okay? So over here is the base. So Liz, right? 3 receiver side. 1, 2, tight ends number 3. When we're in base, this is what we call auto overhang. Okay? Automatic overhang, which means both outside linebackers to the 3 receivers. See, rotate will be different in a minute. So, not a big deal. That's how we line up whenever we're in base. So the offense thinks they know what they have. Here's the key. If we're in our match quarters, right, we're making one of the checks, either the automatic or the one that I tagged, right? See again, those who haven't subscribed got to subscribe so you can go to those playlists. So what you're going to get from the safety is hold, 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 which means play cover black. Okay, remember, the premise is man stays man. We don't check out of the man to 3 receivers. So the hold tag confirms that. Hold, hold, hold. And if the kids need to hear hold black, then they'll say hold black. Otherwise, they hopefully can just say hold, and the kids know that they're staying in cover black on that side. All right, to answer that question. So now the only real difference is the outside linebacker over the tight end number 3 knows he's got tight end number 3. And that should be, as for us, the rover who always lines up to the tight end, right, versus 11 personnel in this case. Okay, so now the Mike linebacker has the running back. Okay, so hold, auto overhang, that's how it works. So now we have 4 underneath defenders with the safety help over the top playing deep half. So now, as I mentioned over here, right? So let me just show you all the stuff we've covered. We've covered the lizard rip, which is the pass strength, right? Opposite, the dividing line, hold. So now we're at invert and turbo. So this is the Texas that I talked about. The automatic, again, unless I were to tweak it, we call Army. This is the automatic. And so we usually just go with it. I don't want to tweak things too many different ways, right? Auto invert means this on the snap of the football. We show on our base, right? Safety's high, corners and outside press. So again, the offense thinks they know what they got. On the snap, invert, safety screws down to roughly 5 yards. The corner is in what we call tempo bail because the corner has 1 vertical, meaning 10 yards of deep, corner's got him. Okay? What the all state is it's a combo between now the safety who's an outside linebacker and the inside linebacker. All state, safety. So here's how it works. The inside linebacker takes 1 in, which is under 10, or mirrors the quarterback. The safety has number 1 out or running back. So, number 1 runs a 5-yard out, 7-yard out. Number 1 runs a hitch. Safety takes him. Okay? The running back is last case scenario. We do have an inside linebacker on him. If number 1 is vertical, the safety's there to help with the running back. Let's say we got a wheel and this linebacker is a little bit slow. Safety finding work can help with the running back. Otherwise, it's just 1 under 10 out hitch. Safety's got him, right? 1 comes in hard. Inside linebacker's got him. So there's usually a chance, unless it's an out, we can double number 1 on an in route, a slant route, any of those things. Okay, that's all that all state means. So we got 1, 2, 3 to take care of that number 1X. I think we got it nailed with the potential to help on the running back if needed. Okay? So over here now, the rotate tag. Okay? We're going to bring in a new term over there, right? Cash. Rotate tag versus Texas, the corner safety bracket of 1 vertical. But first, when we're in rotate, there is no automatic overhang because the outside linebackers are on either side of the formation. Okay? So now that means the safety has to move up to 1x8 Ike over 2, and the other safety's at 12 right over the football. Okay? So hold, right? Or hold black if you need it. Here's the difference. Because we're in rotate, the safety now plays off man on number 2, and there is no help. There is no help. Okay? Now, there's a potential for help, which is why we say hold black, and I'll get to that in a second. So, right? Still over 3, still has 3, still has 1. If I were to have the press tag and all the same scenarios, that would apply. Over here, we have 2 different types of combos going on. We have the cash combo with the corner and the safety. We have the Dabo combo with the outside-inside linebacker. So let me start with the cash, okay? And the rule how to rotate when it comes to which side this safety's a part of. He's always a part of the 1 receiver side. And then the potential for him to help over here, okay? So let me talk about the cash first, okay? On the snap, the cornerback is tempo bail, which is the same as in base over here. Outside press, right? Everything looks the same except the 1 high look with the outside linebacker here in the alley now, right? Safety alley, outside linebacker alley. There's the different look. Okay, so he's going to tempo bail. On the snap, the rule is in rotate, the safety, and it's usually the whip, okay, unless they motion to it. The whip, safety, weak safety in this, okay, is always on the 1 receiver side unless it's a specific tag. Again, non-subscribers, please subscribe. Okay? So cash, right? Corner and safety. Bracket 1 vertical. So on the snap, reading the surface, let's just assume they're all showing pass. He's working over here, and he'll play number 1 on a post. He's the inside bracket of number 1. Okay? Corner will play outside like the corner route, and I'll stay outside of just a straight go route. Okay? So if he were to run a straight go, he's outside, he's inside. Outside, inside bracket. That's the dude. We do not want them throwing to their dude. So we're trying to dissuade them from throwing to that dude. So as the whip safety's working over, first thing he's doing is seeing if 1's even vertical. And if he is, that's it. He's locked into the bracket. Okay? Because he's got the post, he's inside bracket of a go route, and he's still going to work over there in the off chance that it's a corner post, right? Should it be a corner? So 1's vertical, safety's in the bracket, he's out of it. Before I get to Dabo, here's the scenario, okay? If 1 is not vertical, he will stop getting width, and now he'll read quarterback indicator and start to help over here potentially if needed. So it's all based upon what the offensive scheme is, okay? 1's vertical, he's in the bracket, inside bracket. 1's not vertical, and again, that's after surface has shown its pass. Then there's a chance he can be of help over here, which is why we still call it black. Okay, and our guys know it. Their assumption over here is we have no help. They're playing off man. That's why even if I have a press tag built in, when it's rotate, it will not be built in. They're going to be an off man. Okay? Which more likelihood keeping the man in front of them because they don't have help. That's their assumption. Okay? To answer that question. So the other aspect of this, when one runs a short route, he stops getting too much space and depth, but he's available. Okay? The Dabo bracket, he has number one outside to running back. He has number one inside, which is possible running back, not likely. Remember, we got a guy over here. So he's one inside to mirror, which means quarterback. So if one's in a hitch, one's running an out route, again, they're shown pass, then he'll mirror the quarterback. He'll take care of the hitch of the out. If one's vertical, that's a cash. Bracket, corner, and the safety. So see, we got this dude taken care of. We essentially have four to take care of their X. So if their X is like the game breaker, he's the guy that if you don't stop, you can't win. We're going to play rotate to get four to him. Okay, that's our plan A in this case. All right? So does that make sense? I mean, we've gone into games where, let's just say it's number 80. When 80 was over here in Texas, we went rotate. If 80 was over here, we went base, right? So now we crank the coverage to him. And these are things that you can easily do. It's just a simple, we're basing everything off of number 80 today. Okay? So hopefully this makes sense. And last and certainly not least, Topeka, which is that unique three wide receivers opposite the single width tight end. So again, to the rip in this case, hold. So in base, we've got 4 over 3. Our underneath defenders are all manned up. We got the deep half over the top. He's got linebacker. Over here, it's a turbo call, which is our base match quarters call. Again, non-subscribers, please do and see that playlist. Okay? So now he's got one vertical to running back. What's meant by the peel tag, because the rover has rush versus pass. All right, yes, backer has the back. But if the running back is offset to the tight end, we make a peel call, which tells him back goes away, the rover's going to peel off and take him. So now he can focus on the quarterback. Okay, that's asking a lot for him to chase the kid, especially if it's a wheel route, ain't happening. So we build in a peel, which again, that's a base part of our turbo. That's an automatic. We do that all the time. Okay? So that's how we handle it in base. In rotate, the only difference, now the dime, instead of being over 3, is tight to the defensive end again, striking distance. So now the safety, instead of apexing 2 and 3, lines up 1 by 12. Ike over number 3, but he's still on pass. He's got to buzz up and get 3, so everything stays the same. Everything stays the same here, including a peel tag. So he knows on a peel tag, he now is going to be a mirror guy because he'll peel off and help with that wheel, which he'll never, ever get the cover to answer that question again. So see how simple this is? But we emphasize it, and we don't leave anything out that's in there in the hard copy and in the huddle portion of the game plan, because don't ever assume, if I don't say that, that means I'm assuming our kids will make the peel call. You can't do that. Don't leave out details. So this is our Army split coverage. Just again, review. To the lizard rip is cover black. Man under with safety help. Opposite is gray 4. When it's 3 by 1, we build in our automatic. Okay. In base, it's invert. Over here now, we're going to tweak it and rotate till we got a cache and a Dabo. So we got 4 to take care of the dude, the X. When it's Topeka, again, automatic, turbo, which is part of our base coverage match quarters. See the playlist, please subscribe. Same thing over here, even when it's rotate. Hold call, our principle is man stays man to the 3-receiver side. Okay, so that's the difference, and it's different for the offense as well. Okay, so as I said at the beginning, I thank my subscribers, and I've been kind of emphasizing here to those who haven't yet. I really hope you do. So there's a lot of things that if you're a subscriber, you can check the playlist and it can fill in the missing blanks. Okay, to everyone, any questions, I really hope you reach out to me at CoachMJSullivan@gmail.com because I would love to talk football with you.